It's Peter from Brantford Kia. Welcome to our live video series. This is what happens when I take a Monday off, right? So we had a holiday Monday yesterday, and can't even say my name anymore. All right, today we're going to compare the Kia Forte EX with the Kia Forte EX Plus, but really what we're going to do is we're going to ask you the question, is this the best car for you, especially if you're considering a small crossover? And I'm a big Seltos fan myself. I kind of figured, maybe that would be a vehicle that would make sense in my family. However, every time I get into one of these types of Fortes, I kind of question my decision. So we're going to see if you do the same thing, and if you don't, that's cool too. All right, we're going to cover some news just real quickly. If you are joining us for the very first time and you're not live with us, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark. That's where we'll get going on the content. And I'm going to show you how to join us. If you want to know how to join us, you can stay with us. In the meantime, if you are staying with us, if you're live with us, you're going to have to stay with us anyways. We'll just show you how to join us live, and then we'll cover some news. So, a couple things going on in the showroom here today, but we'll talk about that in a second. All right, if you want to join us live, just go to YouTube on a weekday at around 2 o'clock Eastern time and search for, no, that's not a Kia Nexo. That's a good question, though. Or a Hyundai Nexo. Not a Hyundai Nexo. Anyways, if you want to join us, go to YouTube, search for Brantford Kia, refresh the page at exactly 2 o'clock, which is what we're doing right now, and you will see our live tab right there on the homepage. If, for whatever reason, you don't see it on the homepage, click the Videos tab. It'll be the first video there, and you'll see this little Live Now tab. We're going to click that and probably watch an ad for Burlington Hyundai. We don't want to talk about them. See you later, Burlington Hyundai. Well-placed ad. Must have heard us talking. All right, so there we go. We've got that. I'm going to blow this up just a little bit here, if I can do this correctly. Come on, there we go. And that will allow me to see it a little bit better over there. All right. Okay, so let's talk about, we got a lot going on this next little while. So, got a really bright day. As you can see behind me, maybe you can't see behind me, we've got a lot of snow behind us. So because of that snow, I've got 2 extra vehicles in here. They just happen to be inside because it is really easy to keep them inside and away from the snow here, and it's harder to do that in other places. So we got 2 vehicles we're not going to pay any attention to today, but I'll address them again just at the 3-minute mark. Okay, auto show stuff. Kia Canada is finally starting to release some auto show stuff. So we know there's going to be a virtual auto show. What I'm hearing about it sounds pretty cool, so we'll see how well they execute it. I'm looking forward to it, and we're, of course, going to comment on that as well. Hey, somebody's over there. Oh, hello. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment on that as it comes out, and right now they've already sort of shown a teaser of one vehicle that they're going to introduce, which we all know is the new minivan. So Car and Driver announced that it's going to be called the Carnival in the States. I can't tell you it's going to be called the Carnival in Canada, but we'll see what happens. So, of course, that's happening. And would have been at the Chicago Auto Show yesterday, says one of our fans here. Yeah, well, I would have liked to be at some auto shows too. So, of course, there are no real auto shows. That's what's going on there. All right, let's flip the camera around here. If you're just joining us at the 3-minute mark, just real quickly, we've got 2 vehicles in here. This is Hyundai Kona EV. We're not going to talk about that at all today. It's here because it's going to get delivered. And over there in the back corner in an awkwardly parked spot is the Sportage. And that is also another car we're not going to talk about. We're going to talk about these 2 cars that you see on your screen right now. And that is the Kia Forte EX and the EX Plus. Now, the reason I want to talk about these 2 cars is because they continue to impress me and I continue to skip over them. So let's just explain what that means. And I will show you. Whoops, don't want to see me anymore. Let's go right over here. Okay, let me just show you the lineup here. We've got the LX manual transmission Forte and the LX Forte. Those are, in my opinion, kind of base cars. They're price point cars, and they're a really good price point. You can see, $17,895 for a manual transmission with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, heated seats, cruise control. That's a pretty good deal. Then you go up with the automatic transmission, you get $19,495. And those are the Fortes I like to talk about a lot because they just become real good bargain new cars. And then there's the top end of the lineup, which will go all the way over here. And this is also the Fortes I like to talk about, the GT and the GT Limited, because those are completely different cars. Those are really baby stingers. They handle very, very well. They've got good power, and those are 2 cars as well we're not going to talk about today. Then there's this in-betweener, this EX Premium, which I don't have in the bay today, but a very nice car, and the EX, EX Plus, and EX Premium. These are cars I need to talk about more. So whenever I say I'm going to do a Forte, you guys should encourage me to do these Fortes because these are legitimately well-equipped cars that when you get in, you kind of feel like, wow, this is a really nice car. And you can see the EX that we're going to talk about today is $21,195. The EX Plus is $22,795. They're very similar cars. And then there's $24,595. Now, these 2 in particular that I have in the bay are just crazy good bargains if you are fine with having a car. And I think a lot of people are. I think, when you go to other manufacturers, you're going to be told, if you take in your vehicle, oh, you should see this small crossover or this small crossover. And I think the reality is they just don't have any small cars to show you. There's no Chevy Cruze anymore. There's no Ford Focus. There's no Chrysler anything, Dodge Dart, anything like that. No Fiat, really. So you haven't got those small car options, so they're going to push you into small crossovers. However, maybe a small car is perfect for you. And when we start looking at these kinds of cars, you're getting a lot of top-line Kia Seltos features in that car for like $5,000 less. So we're going to talk about that in a second, but let's just take a look at what's in these cars. So if you've never joined us before, we're going to spend about a half an hour here. So grab yourself, if that means it's too long, hit pause right now, grab yourself a beverage, grab yourself a snack. Alcoholic beverage helps, trust me, if you're watching me for half an hour. But do that and come back. And what we're going to do is we're going to go fully through these cars. We're going to go through driver's seat, rear seat, trunk space, options, features, and we're going to take questions along the way. So if you have questions and you're not live with us, you can ask us in the comments below and I'll respond to those as best I can as well. I tend to hit almost every comment. So here we go. Hello, Peter and Teddy Bear from Puerto Rico. There we go. Okay. So what I want to show you here, first of all, you open the doors on these cars, and when you open the door on some of our lower trim level Seltos, something like Sportage as well, lower trim levels, you don't have the nice padded armrests here. So you have padded armrests everywhere, and that's kind of nice. And then you have a height adjustable seat with nice cloth. Now you can get leather if you move up, but I'm a big fan of cloth, which is probably why I'm so attracted to these types of cars. Let's jump in here for a second. So this EX model, again, around $21,000-ish. Blind spot detection, lane keep assist. We're going to show you more and more and more. Only thing that I think is missing from when you go from some of our crossovers to this is you do have a key start. I don't know that that's going to bother too many people. Ignore the fuel efficiency number. This has been idling a little bit in the store. We're just going to clear that out. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of displays here that I want to show you. So again, if you're looking at a Kia Seltos, you have the same engine, same transmission, same basic dash in here. You have the drive modes, the same type of thing. So you have an actually extra drive mode over a Kia Soul. And if you cycle through here, you've got a lot of the same information. So speedometer there, drive mode information, and you can go through lane keeping assist, driver attention warning system, which you can turn on or off, and tire pressure monitors, which is kind of nice. So if you keep moving through again, lots of controls. So there's a lot of information right there in the center, and it's well laid out. And like I said, this is an alternative to something like a Seltos if you really like the features, but you just don't want to spend that kind of money. Jumping over here, many of our crossovers have this size of screen, so this isn't a huge deal. I'm going to take this little protective cover off right now. Oops, I just hit a button there. Don't worry about that battery discharge warning. I didn't start the car because we are inside, so that's just warning us, hey, you're using electricity, but you're not running the alternator or the engine, so that's what's going on. Real quick, just before I go too far, 29 of you are on right now. We're going to try to get to 40 likes today. So I got 12 likes. If you guys can just help me hit those like button, just a little click on the like button is all I need. And that'll take us to hopefully 40 likes by the end of this video. Let's jump back around here. So the thing I like about this is the same screen that's in our Kia Stinger. You get a lot in here. So the big thing is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard. What that means is you get navigation right up here on this screen, and it's well placed. So some people ask, why are they up on all these like sort of panel type things? And the reason is because in a car, you kind of want that lower kind of dash. It just feels like you're buried in a car when the dash comes out that high. It's a visual trick because it's, as you can see, it's sort of the same level. By putting this up on this screen, you can sort of tilt it forward and you get way less glare. Now you can see there's very little glare on the screen, but there's even less glare when you have two eyes looking at the camera or looking at the screen instead of one eye that's here on the camera. So less glare is a big reason, and it also positions it really well to touch it. It is a very responsive touchscreen and a very clear touchscreen. Let's throw it in reverse. You can sort of see some clarity. When you're filming a screen, that's a terrible way to show clarity, but you can see the lines in the floor. You can see the dirt on the floor. You can even see the reflection of the wet footprints on the floor there, teddy bear over there. So you get a really good, clear backup camera, which is kind of nice. And then just little things in here. You've got all kinds of extra settings in here. You can change things around. You can move things the way you want to. If we go to the advanced settings, you can customize this button here. So what I like to do with that button is you can see phone projection here. When I hit this button, I can go to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So that's the way I have it set up, but you can change it to all kinds of other things. You can turn the display on and off. You can go to your Bluetooth audio, whatever you want it to do. And there's also a steering wheel button that you can customize in here. And you can set it when you cycle through the mode button. AM, FM, if you want to switch through different types of music, you can choose that as well. So all kinds of different ways you can just customize little tiny things, very simple and easy to do. And that's the big thing with this system is it's very simple and easy to work all of the systems in here, and a decent sounding radio as well. Coming down here, you have manual climate control system. So again, some people want automatic climate control. You can get that in this car, but you have to move up. Most people find they're perfectly fine with a manual system. Fan works nice and easy. You just direct the temperature where you want. And of course, there is air conditioning here. A little bit of a smudge on that there. Actually, that's glue from our shipping plastics. Anyways, what I like down here is sort of a big feature that gets overlooked. This is wireless phone charging pads. You can see right down here, you just drop your phone down there, and just like on the Seltos and the higher trim levels, you not only have a space for your phone, but it wirelessly charges, and that's a big feature. Your phone is almost never dead when you have that, and they offer all this stuff, and once you set it, you don't use it. I don't know. And then down here, of course, you got the same 2 USB ports and 12-volt port, and a separate shelf to put all your stuff. Now, I mentioned the engine and transmission. Same engine, same horsepower as most of the Kia Seltos, including something like the EX Premium. And so you have some nice power here, but also efficiency. So the horsepower actually is down on this car compared to previous generation cars, but the speed is up, and that's all due to the automatic transmission. It's an IVT transmission. It gives you great fuel efficiency and good power off the line. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. Oh, and I should just show you one more thing. If you tap this way, it automatically puts you into sport mode, and you can shift your gears on your own. If you don't shift your gears, that's not a problem. So let me just show you over here again. We'll show you drive modes. You saw smart mode. I'm going to move that gear shift lever to the left again, and it automatically shifts you into sport mode. So pretty cool. I'm the king of Kia knowledge. I don't know about that, but I'm trying to be. At least I'm trying to be a better teacher. I don't know it all, but I try to be the best teacher of it. If that's my goal, that would be my goal. Somebody just said I was the king of Kia knowledge, and my goal is to be the best teacher of it, not the best knowledge person. The drive modes are pretty cool on this car. So the Kia Soul also shares the engine and transmission in this car, but the Kia Soul only has two drive modes. So the Kia Forte here, you have normal, sport, and smart. Now the smart mode is really the new eco mode. It's the efficiency mode, and I really think that's a good transmission feature to have in this car. So it's a good drive mode to have in this car. It really works well with efficiency, but it also does a good job of always seeming to have it in the right gear. And that's the drive mode I recommend, is the smart mode. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the Soul. Soul Drive is great. I'm a huge fan of that car, but I wish it had the smart mode. Makes more sense. Looking across the steering wheel here, if you wanted things like smart cruise control, you can move up a trim level and you can get that. And but you have regular cruise control here. These control that center display panel over there. Then you have your audio controls over here. So that's kind of nice. We're going to take a quick look around the car here. A couple cool little design features, just like the Stinger. You have sort of those Stinger style vents. Now those vents, I can't quite reach this one. We'll try. You can aim them, of course. Whoops, let me just try this. You can aim them, of course, by moving this around, but you can also turn them on or off by spinning them, which is kind of a cool system. Works the exact same as the Stinger, or works very similar to the Stinger. We're going to hop out for a second. Oops, the lights just turned off in this room. Going to leave the headlights on this car, and we'll leave it on. Turn the seat heater off, steering wheel heater off. Oh, that's the other thing I didn't mention, or I think I did mention. Steering wheel heater is standard in this trim level, and that, I'm telling you guys, once you have one, you totally need one. It's amazing. So we'll turn the rump roasters off, steering wheel heater off. There we go. Okay. Power windows, power locks, those kind of things. I'm just going to turn the light on this room. We got a car blocking the motion sensing light. All right, so a couple little differences on the outside. We're going to talk safety features in a second. We're going to go rear seat, trunk, that kind of thing. On this particular car, these lights may flicker because they're LED lights and they flicker on camera, but in the center you have a halogen headlight, and then over here is your high beam light. That X pattern around it is a very white and bright, now it's not going to show the right color, but a white and bright LED light over there. I think these are good headlights. There's nothing wrong with these. Projector beam headlights have, what you gain is bigger wheels that are really nice looking, just 1 inch bigger wheels, so a little bit smaller sidewall, really sharp looking wheels. And keep in mind, at this price point, a Toyota Corolla is still giving you basically steelies, right? So you've got that, but you have different headlights here. You gain a sunroof up here, bigger wheels, sunroof, and LED lights all the way around. So we're going to turn this car on, got all the lights on. So I want to show you the headlight difference on this car because I really like these wheels. Again, alloy wheels on both of these. So something like a Corolla, you're not getting that. Peter has read and tried to teach us in a shorter time. Oh, I can't read your comments here, guys. I'm trying to keep up. Anyways, what I like about here is, remember the other one had a separate high beam? Well, this one has no separate high beam. You've got a little bit longer, to me, yeah, they're definitely a little bit longer tails there. So when the headlight is off, you still have this X pattern. And to me, that looks a lot like a Porsche when it's behind you in the mirror, because those Porsches have those 4 dots around their headlights. But you do have the really bright white LED lights. Now, I'm in a really bright room today because of that white snow outside. It snowed pretty bad here last night. You can sort of see the sharp cutoff. That is a very white light compared to a more yellow light here. Now, the yellow is showing up well on camera here, but you can see the white light over there. To me, if you can afford jumping the one trim level from the car I just showed you, which is right over here, if you can afford going from this to that, gaining the sunroof, I like sunroofs. Gaining the wheels, hey, it's up to you. I like the look of those wheels. They're 1 inch bigger, so it's kind of a bit sportier look. But really gaining those LED lights is kind of a nice jumping point to go to. Those LED lights are kind of the modern thing now, and they're really nice. The other thing you get is these are the standard lights over here. You get a little bit more of an expensive looking car by going with the LED rear lights as well. So I'm a big fan of those, and I think it's worth jumping to this trim level if you can. And keep in mind, you're like several $1,000s less expensive than a Kia Seltos, which gives you similar type options. So when we go through here, let's just run through again something like Seltos. Blind spot detection, forward or lane keeping assist. We'll look at those. So the blind spot detection, let me just talk about that for a second. We're going to do a video on that later this week. Blind spot detection, you guys all know what it is. There's a little indicator in the mirror, which I can try to find. You can sort of see it there, right, guys? That kind of lights up orange. And what that does is it looks back here. I've done this a bunch of times on our live videos. It sees your blind spot. Now, my argument, of course, is that, don't worry about the flickering lights, guys. It's the way it interacts with the camera. My argument with this is you can create your own situation where you can sort of see in your blind spot. So what I like to talk about when I talk about blind spot detection is the way it works is it has a little area down here that's a radar sensor, and it can see people in your blind spot. Now, where it's really useful is, for instance, that car right there. If I'm backing up, the silver car right there, there's no way that that driver in that silver car, or it's actually a light gray car, can see me, right? There's no way they can see me because they're blocked. But the back of their car can. So when I'm walking or driving behind this car, that car in reverse is going to have what's called rear cross traffic alert. It's going to warn me that someone is crossing my path. It's a really good safety feature. And it's a true blind spot detection because you physically, if this car is a little taller, you physically cannot see me, but because the car can, it'll warn you. And that is standard with any car with blind spot detection. So these cars have blind spot detection. They're going to warn you with that rear cross traffic alert as well. And then you get the lane keeping assist. Both of these cars also have lane keeping assist. So what that does is uses a little camera up here, just there in the windshield there. And it looks forward. And we just did a Kia class on this, so I just did another video on this on Friday. And it can see the lane markers in front of you, and it can help keep you centered in the lane. So that's a super helpful feature to have. And it's one of my, one of the most important features. And the way it helps you keep you in the lane is it steers it. Do they have the same engine? Yes, same engine in these two cars. There is a GT version, which has it's just a totally different car, that GT. It is more of a mini Stinger. So when we talk about same engine in these cars, and the Kia Soul, and the Kia Seltos, except for the very top level Seltos. So a lot of shared engine and transmission, and of course, when you share the engine and transmission in these cars, you have lighter weight cars, which means it's faster. You also have better fuel efficiency. So it's the most efficient, most powerful way to get this engine transmission combination, and you get a pretty good style, especially when you jump up to this model here with the sunroof, the fancy wheels, and the LED lights in the LX Plus. And this car at night really looks like a luxury car coming down the road at you, and it's like $5,000 less than a LED light Seltos when you get LED front lights on the Seltos. So it's pretty cool when you start comparing the features that way. And it just depends on what you want to do. Like there's some features that, the Seltos is still worth going for. I'm just going to go to your questions here, guys, just see if there's anything that I missed here. Do they have the same engine? Yeah, we got that. Kings of Kia knowledge are the makers. Peter has read and tried to teach us in a shorter time. I've tried to, yeah. Interesting headlights, they are. Okay, I'm just going through. Why do they price them $2,000 to $3,000 and offer rebates and discounts? I don't know. Sometimes when they can give you a rebate and discount, they can. Don't forget the keys. Yes, we got the keys. We're good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to show you rear seat and trunk space. So when I talk about these cars compared to an SUV, keep in mind features for price point. These are crazy good bargains. And the reason people don't have small cars in other brands of car dealerships is they simply can't afford to make them at these prices anymore. And you can. So, I mean, when you look at the same features and set in a boxy type thing, you're paying more to get that box. And these are really good deals. So, does the Forte have remote start? You can get a remote start in both of these Fortes if you like. It doesn't come standard, but it is an accessory that you can get. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop the trunk. Same card, so it doesn't really matter which one I use. Pop in the trunk here. You gain in an SUV a bigger opening. A big square opening, of course, that's a typical thing. What you gain in these cars is a very long floor. So something like the Kia Soul. If you're grocery shopping, you're probably not stacking your cereal and your eggs and everything else really high along the back. And if you do a massive grocery shop, or if you need to fit a large stroller in the back of a car, a lot of the time the sedan will fit that large stroller, or will be able to fit more things because it has more trunk space. So, like I said, I love the Kia Soul. But the reality is, I'm not sure about the cargo volume of the Soul. It might be a little bit more, but the cargo floor area of a car like this is significantly more. So we have our little teddy bear test that we run here. Teddy bear comes with me all over the place. And what I do with him, when you see my videos, and I'm comparing trunk space, I throw his body so his tummy is touching the back of the seats. In something like a Kia Soul, where Teddy's arm is now is the end of the trunk. So you can see, looking here, like there's an entire second teddy bear you could fit in here. You could fit a lot of extra teddy in that spot. So a very large floor here, and that is, for some people, a much better trunk, a much more spacious trunk than a small crossover. So it's something worth considering. Again, you're saving some money. A lot of people want these crossovers because they want a large large cargo area, and they forget how big some of these cars are with the cargo area. So again, moving Teddy all the way out here, you could fit another one right back there easily, and he's just got a lot of space back there. So you do lose some of that larger opening. You're not going to be able to go buy a dishwasher and throw it in the back seat here like you can with something like a Kia Soul, the seats folded down, but you can fold the seats down here and fit long items. Let's just pull this out of here. Teddy, he's been a good Teddy today. All right, look happy. That's the best you got, eh? Okay, well, we tried. So you can see in here, we do have 60/40 fold-down seats, and they can be pulled down right here at the back, which is kind of convenient. You don't have to reach around and do some fancy handwork there to get those seats down. So you can still fit long items in there, and you can do with the 60/40 split, you can still fit 2 people in the back. Middle person's going to be pretty tight, but you can do that with the seats, with the one seat folded down. So that's pretty common. The other cool thing that I think they should do that they've moved away from, something like the K5 is a brand new car, doesn't have this. This makes a ton of sense. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but we had a lot of snow and ice, or mostly snow overnight. When you have Canadian winters, the outside of the car gets dirty with salt and dirt and grit and grime. And when you slam the trunk from the outside, you can scratch the paint just a little tiny bit with that salt. This is kind of cool because you can just pull this down here. Benzo777 said, "Hi, answer me." I promise I will. But I'm just going to finish talking about this, and then I'll go check the questions again. They only show up on my screen for a second, and they disappear, so I promise I'll answer you. But that little handle is super helpful, so pull it down, not scratch the paint. And the other thing that's kind of nice is you don't end up with the fingerprints on the back of the car. Now, one other thing I want to do here. People always talk to me, okay, I got a family of 4, can I fit in this Forte? Well, we had friends of ours that were, they had a minivan. Because theirs went kaputs. They ended up leaving in a Forte, and the Forte worked for them because their family of 4 fit fine in here, and all they did was mount a bike rack back here on the hatch or on the trunk, and they were able to take their bikes along with them, and it was super practical. You can get an accessory hitch if you wanted to take some of those stuff along, so there is that advantage. And then in the back seat here, that front seat is adjusted basically where I need it. Now I could probably move it around a little forward and doctor things, but it is comfortable where I need it. The side doors open nice and wide, so if you're putting child seats in here, if you're securing your baby in here, no problem there. Now, I'm about 6 feet tall. Watch how easy it is for me to get in and out of this car. This is not like a lot of small cars where you don't fit. So this one, 2019 Small Car of the Year, the 2020 Small Car of the Year is the Mazda 3. I Can't do that in the Mazda 3. I come in, I'm very tight here, and more importantly, I'm very tight in my legs on that. Now, my legs look a little raised up here. I'm wearing pretty high winter boots right now. If I wear my running shoes, my legs are flat on the seat. So just like a crossover, my legs are flat on the seat, my back's at a good angle, and I've got plenty of headroom, so I'm very comfortable in here, even for a small car. And a lot of people think because they've maybe driven a small car in the past that they won't fit into this small car right now, but in the Forte you do. So you have a lot of space. And then another nice little touch is you have the vents back here. Not every car has those vents. On the passenger side, you have a little net over here. You do have a little bit of a netting on their side, and then the plastic backing. If you've got kids back here, that is just an easier thing to wipe down and keep clean. In the door handles, in the door pockets, you do have a place for a water bottle. You also have soft touch armrests. Again, that seems like a minor thing, but a lot of cars don't have those. Even our small crossovers don't have those unless you move up to an EX trim. The LX trims don't have soft touch armrests there. Speaking of armrests, let's come back around here. Whoops, come on, camera. There we go. Armrest flops down on the middle seat. You got extra cup holders here. And the armrest, because it doesn't sit on the seat, it's risen above. It falls exactly where an adult would need it, and it's very comfortable to fit there. So you've got that comfortable rear seat. And again, you're saving a lot of money by moving to a small car instead of a small crossover. So some people talk about winter traction. Let's talk about winter traction. One thing I want you to do, if winter traction is a concern, no matter what you drive, all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, does not matter, get winter tires. Here's the thing with something like the Forte. Even with these bigger wheels, what you're going to do is you're going to downsize the tires to be the same size as this. That gives you a little bit more sidewall for some of the ripples and ice and all the chunks of stuff that stick around there. You're going to have less expensive winter tire packages on this car than you will on most crossovers, and with the stability control, the traction control, the ABS brakes, all of those things that control the wheel speed sensors, you have really good traction with modern winter tires, and you've got more money to put towards them, and you're still going to have better fuel efficiency with those winter tires than a lot of crossovers have without the winter tires. So really something to consider. All right, we're 27 minutes in. Somebody wanted me to make sure I answered their question, and I will do that right now. If you have questions, now's a great time to ask them. We're going to stick around for a few more minutes, but do me one little favor. 38 of you are on. I want to get to 40 likes. If you all hit the little like button right now, I'm going to blow past 40 likes. We usually have about 150 to 170 people on. We've had as many as like 1,100 on. So I know it doesn't take much, but 13 more likes is all I need. Just a little click right there. 11 more likes now. That was super helpful for me. All right, 40 likes is my goal. Thank you. Hey, 10 more likes to go. All right, I'm going to let you look at the cars while I go through your comments. If there's a comment that I missed, some of my regulars can feel free to jump it in. Lots of room in the back. Would the Kia Sportage and the Toyota Venza be a good comparison? Sportage would be quite a bit more expensive. The Venza is a hybrid, so a different car altogether. But yeah, if you're looking at those cars, you're probably going to like the price of these ones. It depends on what the features are for you. Like if you want, let me just flip the camera around here. If you want Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, heated seats, heated steering wheel, multiple drive modes, great fuel efficiency, then you might have everything you need in a Forte and save yourself, I mean, compared to some of those cars, it's half the cost of some of those cars. So it just depends on what you need. And I mean, people say, oh yeah, but I save a little money. Well, that's good money to save to put towards something else, paying off a house or, getting a whole other car. You can get two of these for the same price as some other crossovers. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Guess I'll just sit patiently till you read my comment. Yes, that works great. What is your comment earlier? I'm considering a Rio over Volkswagen Polo. Cool. I love the Rio. We don't have Polos here in Canada, but that's a great pick. What is the other question? Forte EX is the way to go, somebody said. So the one person who said you're not answering me, I don't see what your question is. So do me a help, do me a favor. Do you have any new Sorento? Yeah, we got lots of new Sorento. Some of them are just out there. There's like 4 right there. There's some over on the other side as well. We've got a whole bunch of them around here. So yeah, lots of new Sorento out here today. And if you want to talk about them, we've got a bunch of videos on them already. We'll happily do more. Do me a favor, Benzo777. Can you rewrite your question? Because I'm missing it here. Yes, an amazing blind spot detection. Yes. What else we got? How's the 2021 Rio as a beginner car? Oh, there we go. 2021 Rio as a beginner car? Excellent beginner car. 2021 Rio, so I found your question. The 2021 Rio is an excellent beginner car, and it also has wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Pretty cool. That's new for 2021, so definitely consider the 2021 because it's got wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. Didn't have that on the 2020 model year, so something to consider there. Let's just keep going up. Regulars, is there any question I missed that I should have got to? Just want to make sure because I got a little bit criticized from people today about not answering their questions. So I think I got most of them. I think I'm doing a great job. Are they planning to redesign the Sportage soon if they haven't already? So that's a good question. We have a Sportage over here. So we're going to go off topic. We're at the 30-minute mark, guys. But there's some good information here. We'll come back to the Fortes if you guys ask questions about it. There is a Sportage over here. I have an information sheet on the 2022 Sportage. I say Sportage. You guys say Sportage sometimes. That's just because we're in Canada. That's how we say it here. There is a Night Sky edition, essentially, or a black... Yeah, I think they call it the Night Sky edition. We also had a black line or S line in the past with black wheels. So same body style for 2022 model year, but there'll be a new package on that. So I can do that once we have it in. But right now it's not here yet. You guys gave me 42 likes. I want to thanks for that because I wasn't sure I was going to get there today. But yeah, so no new redesign on the Sportage for this year. What I know new that's coming is we know there's a new minivan. We know there's a new Stinger coming out, modified Stinger. And I'm hoping there's an EV announced fairly soon. So those are the main things that we're talking about. But yeah, nothing new there. Thanks, love your videos. Stay safe. All the way from South Africa. That's cool. So yeah. So let me see. Is there anything else here that I missed? I think that's all. So I think we're going to leave it there, guys. 31 minutes. That seems about right. We do a live video every single weekday at least every single weekday that I work. We missed yesterday because it was a holiday here. If there's a car you want to see, you can let us know in the comments below. We're happy to do that for you. Don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. I haven't really decided yet, so we'll do that. How's the COVID there? I don't have it, so we're good. Are they discontinuing the Cadenza and the K900 in America? I don't know about America, but in Canada, yeah, those are gone. Yeah, I don't know. So like I said, if you have a suggestion for a live video this week, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'm always willing to take your suggestions. Can't always promise that I'll do them right away, but we certainly are looking for suggestions. We got lots coming up in the coming weeks, guys. We got the auto show from Kia Canada, which was coming up. We will be talking about that live. We'll be sort of commenting on it. I sort of know the basics of their plan, but I'm going to let them sort of introduce it. There are some new vehicles coming out that we will definitely have some discussions about. It'll all be good. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. We will see you again tomorrow, and there's a Kia class coming out tomorrow as well, so we'll talk about that. Compare the Kona EV to the Niro. We did that last week, actually, so that's why the Kona EV is here. We did that last week, so that'll be up on our channel. You can find that in the live videos tabs. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We will see you soon. See you tomorrow.